Chapter 23, Athletes Need More Copper. Lifting weights creates a need for extra copper. I realized this because lifters complain about central nervous system fatigue from lifting heavy. Copper is needed for fatigue and for nerves. Copper is needed by the nerves in at least 15 different ways, and lifters also often suffer from neuropathy in the hands. They just often blame swollen biceps, but it could very well be low copper. So here's the different ways. Number 1, copper gets used up and is needed for ATP production for energy. 2, copper gets used up to make collagen, and 30% of muscle is collagen. 3, copper is lost in sweat, up to 1 milligram of copper per day, which is way higher than we get from a typical diet and food, which is only 0.6 milligrams. 4, lifting heavy means more copper is needed by the nerves. 5, spending time in the sun or tanning booth like weightlifters do, you're going to need more copper to make melanin. 6, copper is needed to make DHEA, the master hormone that's converted to testosterone. So as lifting boosts testosterone production, that again will use up more copper. 7, rapid growth can deplete copper, such as from testosterone taken as a drug. Quote, elevated requirements induced by rapid growth from a study called Essentiality of Copper in Humans. So chickens are also grown very rapidly by industry these days, suggesting that chicken meat is likely low copper. And chickens are also fed up to 130 parts per million of fluoride by industry as an antibiotic, which would further deplete copper from chicken meat. And I don't know why I didn't put this here, but I do know chicken are often also fed up to 150 parts per million of copper, probably to help counter the fluoride and also because they need it for the growth. As I was writing this book, I ate 4 small pieces of chicken, and a day later I got a zit, and we have learned that acne is from fluoride. So as we have seen, copper is needed for red and white blood cells. I have a case report from a friend who started taking plenty more copper. His red and white blood cell counts were then tested. They tested, quote, high. Of course, doctors think everything abnormal is pathology or a symptom of disease. No, he's healthy. So athletes actually engage in high altitude training, which results in a higher red blood cell count. This creates great endurance. I used to live in Mammoth Lakes, California for about a year when I was 18. The elevation was over 7,881 feet. Athletes from around the world would come to Mammoth Lakes to train at altitude, and the ski hill on Mammoth Mountain goes all the way up to 11,053 feet. So blood doping is the misuse of certain techniques and or substances to increase one's red blood cell mass, which allows the body to transport more oxygen to muscles and therefore increase stamina and performance. So taking copper increases stamina and performance by increasing red blood cells. Recently, I also just learned that cobalt sulfate can also increase red blood cell counts. Another thing bodybuilders get is stretch marks. I actually have stretch marks on my hips in both directions, first from growing tall and second from filling out. It is said that these are from rapid growth. However, babies grow more rapidly than adults do. Babies are not covered in stretch marks. Babies also have 5 times more copper than adults. So I think copper could or should prevent stretch marks. I think this is a correlation that's too rare on both ends of the spectrum to find support for in the research, and I can't even imagine doing a study to even study the effectiveness of this. How could it even be done? Maybe bodybuilders tend to get stretch marks when they do steroids because they get testosterone without the precursor of copper, and maybe the lifting and sweating depletes copper in so many other ways. Bodybuilders also often get enlarged hearts and tend to suffer from heart attacks, which are also both signs of copper deficiency. Thank you.